How's it going? My name is Tyler Thomas, and this is my change project presentation. So today I'm going to be talking about two different change projects I'd like to be addressing. The first one being the environmental issues in Miami, and the second one being the food issues at St. Thomas University. Both issues, in my opinion, have equal value when it comes to students at St. Thomas University and residents that live in Miami. To start off with the environmental concerns in Miami, like when you go outside of school, like when you're outside of campus and you're parked at a red light and you can just look around, you can see all the trash on the ground, and it's an issue that not only Miami is dealing with, it's an issue that many different cities that have a high population like us are dealing with, and there are a lot of ways we can fix this issue, and it all starts with a bunch of people coming together with the similar mindset and trying to help the community so it doesn't suffer anymore. Especially since we live by the water and by the ocean, I think that it will affect us and our cities more, especially since when that trash goes in the ocean, it affects our wildlife, not only in the ocean, but around the ocean and the areas around us, and that can be really detrimental for our city and our community. So what I put together was all of our local schools around our communities, starting with middle school, high school, and college. We all try to get as much trash as possible, and the winner, whoever can collect the most trash possible, gets a shout out on local television, because at the end of the day, we don't really need an incentive to make our community better, because if we want to make our community better, we should want to make our community better. It shouldn't have to be a have to. If we want to live a better life, we should want to make our community better. I continually see the same couple, on the side of the road when we pull into St. Thomas University, right outside of 37th Avenue, just every single day, just begging for food or begging for anything. And it's a dangerous move, because there's so much traffic. You know how Miami is. The traffic is insane, and by having them on the side of the road, especially with a kid or animals, like, it greatly affects their lives, and it's dangerous for the city. And those are the things we need to improve. And that can start with just giving back to our community and just trying to help pick up the little things and just trying to be good citizens in our community, and that'll help it a lot. Continuing along with the environmental concerns in Miami, the traffic has just been absolutely horrible. Not only recently, but just as long as the city of Miami has existed, in my opinion. And if you want to go to McDonald's that's a block away, and it says it's 5 minutes away on the map, it's going to end up taking you 45 minutes to get back to St. Thomas University. And that only creates more air pollution in the world, which is detrimental to society. And I think that if we clean our streets better, that can also help the traffic pattern, because sometimes when I'm driving, there's something in the middle of the road and you have to swerve out of the way and try to get out of the way. That's happened to me numerous times right here in the city of Miami. And those are just the little things that add up, that we can help make this city better. And I think that if we do those things, then issues like this won't occur anymore. Following along with the environmental concerns, I also have concerns about the food and dining at St. Thomas University. We've actually come a long way since I was here with the dining. It's transitioned from the old cafeteria to the new one, and they've made great strides to try to make it better. However, they continue to fail in some aspects of the dining, especially when it comes to dietary needs and hours they're open. And I think that they can still do better with that. Sodexo, the company, and our school can collaborate and make that a little bit better, starting with the hours of operation. On Saturdays and Sundays, there's only 2 time periods where you can eat, which is brunch and dinner. And brunch opens at 11 and dinner opens at, I believe, 4 o'clock. And I think there doesn't need to be a certain time period for when people eat. Everybody has their own schedule, and they shouldn't be forced to eat during a certain time. If you want to eat breakfast at 8 o'clock on a Saturday, you should be able to come to the cafeteria and eat breakfast at 8 o'clock on a Saturday. You shouldn't have to wait for their hours to decide when you want to have breakfast. Along with that, on weekdays, obviously they're open 3 times a day for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. However, in between breakfast and lunch and dinner, there's a time period where you can't come to the cafeteria and you can't eat. And I think that isn't as people have class all day, and sometimes you can't eat during those time periods, and I think that's not acceptable for the university and for Sodexo to do that. Although they do have the Rathskeller upstairs, that is only limited options, like with chips, sushi, and ramen, stuff like that. It's not food that you can really just get there and start eating. So I think that they can work on that as well. Along with that, there are some restrictions with the seating area and the lines. Sometimes you walk into the cafeteria and you can't even scan your ID because the lines are so long. And I don't know if that's a manufacturer error, but the lines can get so long where it's hard to move around the cafeteria, especially on days during lunch, during noon, when everyone doesn't have, most people don't have class, or if there's visits for certain athletics, they have people from high school come visiting, they can get really backed up. And with that, the seating, there's not a huge amount of seating in the cafeteria, and sometimes there isn't anywhere to sit, and you kind of just got to figure that out. So I think that's something that the university needs to address, and I think that since we moved into a new building, it probably won't be addressed for a long time, but it's definitely something that needs to be, and hopefully will be soon. To address the dining issues at St. Thomas University, the president of the university, Curvins de Brazil, has actually incorporated a cafeteria committee to help appoint what are the issues at St. Thomas University and how we can address that. And I think we've done a decent job of that for the short time being, but I think we can expand that committee and continue to address the issues that needed to be addressed, because one day, if it's a Wednesday night and the dinner service is bad, the food isn't good, it's not coming out right, it's slow, you're not getting the portions you want, you should be able to address that issue as soon as you feel like it's an issue and talk to anybody. There should be someone or a form in the cafeteria that can help you address that issue, and I think those are the things we need to work on to help the dining service excel. And if we create this committee, it'll not only help our food and our students enjoy the cafeteria more, but it'll keep our students at St. Thomas University. I think that there was a big issue that the president and our school has addressed, that we want to keep our students at St. Thomas University and not trying to go get food every night and staying inside the university. And I think if we had a better cafeteria, or have a better cafeteria, that we can keep most of our students on campus and out of harm's way, whether that be car accidents or anything. And I think that if we create a better space in the cafeteria, more social space, better food, I think that'll only make our university better. So with these two change projects, the one change project where we combine all of our middle, high, and colleges together to help clean up our community, and with the dining service group that we can improve the dining at St. Thomas University, I think those two issues will help our not only our students at St. Thomas University remain happy, but we can also keep the citizens of Miami happy. I think the environmental issue has been something that's been haunting the city of Miami for a long time, and it's something that nobody has really addressed. And I think if we just start right here at St. Thomas University and in Opa-locka, I think we can create big change, and eventually that can spread out into the whole city of Miami and hopefully farther than that. All in all, there's a lot of concerns that we have as a community, but these are the two that I found most important to my situation right now. As a senior graduating in May, I've gone through all the dining services, and I think that we have successfully gotten better as a university, but I still think there's a lot of room of growth to go. And I think that the more criticism that the students have toward the food and the workers and everything working there, the better the quality, not only of the food, but the better the quality of the people in there, the happier the people will be in there, and I think that'll only make it better. And lastly, the environmental concerns of Miami. Also living here, staying here at St. Thomas for 4 years, I've seen it all, literally anything you can think of, and I think that it's only become worse as I've gotten here. And by creating these groups of people to help clean up this city will only help the city of Miami exponentially. And these are the things we need to do as soon as possible, because if we don't get on this now, it'll affect not only our kids, but our kids' kids and the generations to come.